Life is a canvas, and every choice is a brushstroke. Join Jason Kennedy as he explores the art of painting your own life. Welcome to Authentic, where real stories meet real hearts. This is your sanctuary, a space for truth, transformation, and tender conversations. Here, we unmask the pressure to perform and lean into who we really are. Whether you're searching, healing, or rising, we see you. You are allowed to look good, feel good, and leave this space feeling bold. So, take a breath, be still, and come home to you. This is Authentic. Today on Authentic, we sit with Jason Kennedy, an artist whose works goes beyond painting into the stories that shape us. Born in Canada and rooted in the Cayman Islands, Jason's art captures everyday life with emotional depth and quiet power. Through his portrait and landscape, he reveals what connects us: community, identity, and memory. As founder of the Gallery by Jason Kennedy in Camana Bay, he has created a space where art meets heart, where visitors don't just see color, but they feel it. Jason reminds us that art isn't just about what you create, it's what you live. Join us as we explore the creative culture and the courage to let life become the canvas. This is Authentic. Hey guys, and welcome to Authentic. I'm your host, Rayan, and Authentic is a show that we speak about creativity, healing, and what it truly means to be authentic. Today, we're joined by no one other than
Jason Kennedy. I'm an artist here in the Cayman Islands. We're here at the Gallery in Camana Bay.
And today we're talking about art, so let's get into it. Okay, Jason, thank you again for joining us on Authentic.
No problem.
So we're talking about art. Mm-hmm. So the first question that comes to mind, all artists have a backstory. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to ask, who is Jason Kennedy?
Really, I'm an artist who's continuing to grow and experiment and kind of find my way, or at least the next thing. I've had a series of exhibitions, 3 total really, that are proper collections. And I'm just trying to, find the next thing that is going to be fulfilling for me, but also, hopefully speak to the general public.
Oh, that's beautiful. And just as we say in Authentic, we all have a backstory. We all have an origin story.
Yeah.
And it's very important that we are able to tell our stories. For me, I think it's through media and, content creation. For you, it's art. It's just a creative expression. So my second question to you is, when did you know your art was no longer a hobby? Because, you start from that place where it's like, I'm doing this and it's fun. Until it gets to that place where you actually take it serious. So when did you get to that point when you knew, I'm onto something?
It's a good question. I sometimes even struggle with, am I there yet? It's one of those things where it's a very unpredictable industry and an unpredictable world. So, being a full-time artist means that you don't necessarily have a safety net, right? So you don't have a salary. You're not sure when the next painting is going to sell. So there's a lot of uncertainty and unpredictability that comes with it. And so it's sort of always trying to find, from a business perspective, how to connect with the audience and how to connect with a potential buyer. So I'm still kind of working that out. And honestly, there are some days where I feel like, I still feel new, and I still feel like, I don't know if any artist has ever is ever really satisfied or can sit back like, I've made it, I'm good. And I certainly am not anywhere near that. I'll have some good months, and then slow season comes, and it might get a little bit dicey where you're like, how do I figure this next thing out? But it's all about patience and perseverance. It really is. It's just, continuing the hustle and continuing to work. And it really is that. So I wouldn't say there was one specific turning point. I've definitely had milestones that I consider to be very important to me. key sales, for instance. Like I remember when I sold, my first painting in Cayman, it was to a friend for a couple $100, but it at least gave me the confidence and the support.
That, okay, you're doing like, oh, this is good.
Exactly. Luigi Moxham helped me out. He asked me to paint Cayman Cabana downtown. That was huge for me because it was large scale. It was very public. I was sick about that for a few days. I was just so nervous because it was a little bit of a, I'm showing people that I'm trying to do something and that I am trying to take it seriously and express myself all at the same time, honoring Cayman and honoring the culture and trying to stay true to both of those things. So, I'm still working.
Still working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of the things of, I would say the risk, but also it comes with the territory of being a creative.
Yeah.
It's the uncertainty.
Yeah.
But it's taking that calculated risk or the willingness to still go at it, besides having that anxiety and knowing that you're stepping into something and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that I had an interview recently with someone and we spoke about the uncertainty of stepping into new territory. And I said to her, everything is figure-outable, which is my concept and my term. We might not know what's going on or what the outcome is going to be, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think as young people and for persons watching, you have to know that, it's not about having all the answers, but it's continuing despite not knowing what the next step is.
Yeah, very good.
So we're transitioning into, I want to ask you about your creative process, because you speak a lot about, honoring Cayman and being a part of the culture, and you like it being here and all of that. What are some of the inspirations behind some of your pieces? What would you say?
So I recently just put out this new collection called The Direction of the Wind. Each piece has a different theme, but the common thread is the seafaring culture, right? So each piece is a ship, either it's an individual ship or a collection of ships that are levitating. So it's staying true to the Caribbean culture, all while trying to start a conversation about the human spirit's resilience, being able to overcome adversity. So there's a mental health angle to it as well.
Each piece
is in a different style, but it has that connectivity of the levitating boats. You asked about inspiration. A lot of these are actually styles that I borrowed from people that have inspired me. I've studied art my whole life. I've been drawing and painting my whole life, and I'm a big Salvador Dali guy. I've got it tattooed on my arm. I'm a big George O'Keeffe fan. I've got some Picasso. And so a lot of these particular pieces are inspired by people that I admired growing up studying artwork. The Direction of the Wind is actually taken from a quote. The quote is, I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails accordingly to overcome. So that's the name of the collection, but each piece is also an excerpt from maritime wisdom. So if you look at, the title of each piece, it'll be a deviation or a direct excerpt from the maritime vernacular. Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Thanks. I'm trying.
No, that is so beautiful, and that's one of the things too. With the aim of the show is to inspire people, and I always say, for me, a lot of how I've learned is living vicariously through other people's experience. And the fact that you're able to channel that through your art and be able to inspire other people and to bring that vision out to life, I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so. Normally, I would wait mid-interview to ask this question, but since you've said a lot and it's very impactful, and I love that you spoke about the owl and you spoke about your inspiration, I can't help but to ask, what does authenticity mean to you?
Being authentic is not deviating too far from your honest feelings. So. It's an old Bruce Lee quote, but he said something. Yeah, I don't know if you know this one. Yeah, but he was saying, he was talking about his martial art, but to me, it's a very similar thing where you can put on a show and you can be as flashy as you want to, but to honestly express yourself is the hardest thing.
Yes.
And so, I think that quote relates to anybody who is creating, whether it's you doing your podcast or my artwork, or whether you're doing dance or a chef, whatever it is. Yeah. To honestly express yourself is actually incredibly difficult. So the word authentic, which does get tossed around because people like to think that they're being real and they're being authentic, but to truly do that is more difficult than people actually think. It's like, no, I'm being myself and I'm doing this, but if you are doing that, you're being incredibly vulnerable. So I think it's rare that the authenticity is as raw as maybe it could be. But I'm like anybody else. I struggle with that because the creative process is very much, okay, well, I want to paint this and this is what I'm trying to do, right? With these levitating ships, the vision was there. The moment that I knew that I was being real to what I was trying to produce is I had some people come to me and ask me if I think that would sell and is it commercially viable? And realistically, the answer is I don't know. So me taking a risk, I think, was and having that feeling meant that I was being honest with what I was trying to produce versus I'm going to just paint something that I know is going to sell because it's going to be super easy and basic and safe. And none of these pieces are safe. Some of them are even confusing in nature. They're levitating boats, right? The surrealism aspect isn't necessarily for everybody. So I don't know. I think being authentic is being able to go into something and having that fear and still, pressing ahead and just doing it regardless of how it's going to be perceived by whoever.
Yeah. And that goes back to a quote that I recently heard when it says that everyone has a different concept of a version of you. You might be this to your parents, you might be this to a friend. Everybody has a different version of what authenticity means to them. Because you might be showing up authentic in your own right. To me, when you meet someone else, it's a totally different version.
Yeah.
So I think for me, and I'm going to add to that point, it's really comes to internally, like just based on what you believe. Because everybody's going to have a concept of what they think and everybody's going to have an opinion. But it's whatever you find true and you own it. This is who I am and this is just what it is, It's left up to your interpretation.
Yeah. I think knowing that is powerful too, right? You can only please so many people and you can be as generous as you want to be, but you know how that goes sometimes, and people are going to talk, and if we're talking specifically about Cayman as well, it can be difficult because we're a very unique market here, right? So I feel like, especially for a lot of the younger creatives, it's especially difficult. Where I grew up, and I was really trying to find myself as an artist. I was in Toronto. So you could be 2 million people. You can kind of experiment how you want to, and there's not going to be so much judgment. You can fail a billion times and it's fine. But I feel for the younger Caymanians here who are trying to be authentic and put themselves out there because it's such a small town. And with that comes
the heavy scrutiny.
Yeah, the heavy scrutiny. And the judgment is a little bit closer to you. So it's a unique challenge that I think young artists here have to face. But it's one of those things where you have to find that circle and that support that really is being true to how they want to treat you and help you. And once you find that, then you just got to press through it and get to it. But those challenges are there for sure.
100%. But I commend you for actually mentioning that, because obviously you're creating a space for creatives and for persons, as we've seen before, you had a little mini interview with a young creative local here who, you're pressing it on, you're giving him the opportunity to express himself and also find, his identity in the art space. And as we can see, a lot of people are afraid of taking that leap. Sometimes the doors are there, but I think people don't really know that they're open. And sometimes it's not really that inviting, but I commend you on that point of creating that opportunity where it's like, okay, you want to do art? You want to do your thing? Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
Let's see what we could do with that.
Yeah.
And that's very commendable.
Well, thanks, man. I feel like it's the least that really anybody who has any level of success as an artist can do.
Correct.
Like I said, I'm not anywhere near where maybe I want to be or think that I should be, but you know, we we do have to offer as much support as we possibly can because you know, there's honestly the way it is in Cayman, like there's a few artists that are doing it and they're making money and it's okay, and then everyone else isn't. They've got 2 or 3 other jobs, and it's incredibly difficult, right? So you really need to find that support and encouragement. And you know, there's no one who is like a self-made person, really. At the end of the day, it's a fabrication. Correct. It's not real. So I feel like we have to support, especially the young artists who are out there who maybe don't have a lot of that. And if it's just open, keeping the doors open, and if I'm in here painting and someone wants to come in and sit down and paint and talk about art, well, I mean, that's not only a duty that I have, but that's for me too. Like everyone's winning. That's just an enjoyable thing. As artists, we should all be doing. It's a very isolating job. You're there doing it solo, kind of
with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Your own.
So it works for everybody, man. We all just need to be there.
And I think that's everywhere in every space. Because even with me and, you know, starting this podcast and everything else, I mean, I had to lean on some really, you know, close people to me in order to like have that momentum and keep it going. And in Jamaica or in the Caribbean, we say no man is an island.
Yes, true.
You know, we have 8 billion plus people in the world. Yeah. And I'm sure, you know, obviously from the pre-existent time, they said it was 2 people, but they procreate, symbolizing we all need each other.
Yeah.
As humans, we do need that.
Yeah, you can't do it alone.
You can't.
No.
You need to be your brother's keeper.
Yeah.
But I think that's very beautiful. And I commend you for that. So we spoke about the art.
Yeah.
We spoke about the inspiration.
Yes.
Let's dive a little bit into when you are in doubt. Because I mean, with everything you know, you have those times where you're like, I'm not sure if I could do this. You know, what helps you to overcome those hurdles or, you know, those mental barriers when it happens? Because I know we all go through it.
Yeah, it's people. It's the same people that you relied on to get you into the podcast and keep you going. Yeah, it's the same thing for me, whether it's Samuel Ato coming through the doors just now, and maybe we talk a little bit about how it's hard and, you know, sales are up and down and that sort of thing. It's really about having those conversations with those particular people that can build you up. Because we know not everyone's trying to do that. You know, each industry is small, and with that comes complications, man. And we're all, you know, complicated people, and most of the time you're not getting genuine support, and you're not getting, you know, the compliments, the assurance that you need. And so sometimes you got to get out there and ask for it, you know?
Oh yeah.
Have someone that you can talk to and just say, hey, listen, like, I don't know, what do you think about these floating boats? You know, and you get those honest opinions and get that support, because doubt it's a cancer, man. And insecurity is something that we all have and that we all face on one level or another, right? And so once you hit that spiral, it can be pretty consuming. And so you got to talk it out. You have to have people around you that are going to like, you know, make sure that you're continuing.
I agree. Yeah. We all need that mutual support. And that's one of the things that I'm pushing here in Authentic, where, you know, it's that community. The aim of the podcast is to create a community that's safe space, no matter who you are, where you're from. The Bible said, come as you are. And that's what I believe, because I believe through my own story, you know, having that sense of not fitting in, there's not really a lot of creative spaces for people who feel that way. Yeah. And especially here in Cayman, you know, especially for the young people. Yeah. There's not a lot of spaces. And it's one of those concepts where I said people are very quick to judge. Oh yeah. Because it's easy for me to judge you before you judge me. So everybody is like beaten to the punch. But Authentic is really here to let people know that it's okay. I always say it's okay not to be okay. We all go through our struggles. Yeah, that's true. But the point is, we're not staying there. Yeah. How do we move forward? Yeah. And we have to have that solution-based mindset. Yeah. But yeah, so my final question for you, and we're about to wrap up the interview, is I want you to stare right in the camera. And for that young creative who, it might be art, it might be music, it might be anything. And they're considering the concept of starting, it's taking the first step. Should I do this? Should I not do this? I wonder if someone's going to support me, if it's going to work. What would you say to them in terms of taking that first step?
Yeah, if you're a young artist, then just go. I was telling Dee, who's behind the camera, you're in your 20s, or if you're in your 30s, I was doing free work into my 30s. I still do a lot of favors now. It's a grind. And I don't even know if the grind ever stops at this point, to be honest. I'm in my 40s now, and I'm hustling. I work literally every single day. So you have to keep going. Expect that you're going to work. Expect that it's going to be tough. And when it's tired, take a break. When you're getting beat up, take a break. But you just have to keep going. If you really genuinely love it, then you're going to do it and keep going. If it's something, you just maybe think you maybe want to be an artist, maybe you want to sing, and you're kind of on the fence. Well, I don't know. Come to me. I can give you some advice. Maybe I can help you. But if you love it, and if it's something that it's destined for you, then you're going to do it. Just get through all the nonsense, get through all the garbage, because there's going to be a ton of it. Get through people talking about you, judging you, calling you things that you aren't. Get through all that stuff, because there's light on the other side.
Well said. I don't think I could have said it any better.
Thanks, man.
Okay, Jason, thank you so much again for joining us. And if persons want to find your work or check out, what you do online, how would they find you?
I'm on Instagram, Jason Kennedy Art. Same on Facebook, Gmail, same thing, jasonkennedyart@gmail. I'm super easy to find, though. I'm here in Camana Bay every day. So pop in, come see me. Let's talk about some art. And if you're a young artist too, I encourage you to bring your stuff in. I want to see it. I might buy some. Did I buy some today? Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
I can confirm that. Yeah.
Just come see me. If you're a young artist, come check me out, Camana Bay.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you guys again for joining another episode of Authentic, the show that we speak about love, art, manifestation, and being kind in a world that sometimes is not that kind to us. I want you guys to remember to follow the show. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram at @CoachLorenzo_RF to stay tuned to all the happenings on the show. Anyway, until next time, thank you again for joining, and stay authentic.